This is the Voice Coach Podcast for all the tips and tricks on getting the most out of your speaking voice. I'm Nic Redman, and I'll be sharing everything you need to know to keep your voice healthy, sounding great, and working the way it should. If you're an actor, voiceover, speaker, presenter, or podcaster, you're in the right place. Hopefully it'll be a wee bit of crack too. Let's get started. Hello dear listener. I feel lovely this morning. I've started my day on the mat doing a little bit of, taking my own advice and doing some breath work, which was delightful. So I hope I'm joining you at a point in your day when you're either already feeling lovely vocally and mentally, or you feel the desire to feel a little more lovely. And maybe I can bring that to you with today, because what we're going to look at now is bringing all that lovely breath work that we've done in the last goodness knows how many episodes into one little succinct routine so that you can start building that breath work into your daily practice, which ultimately is what we need really here. We started exploring each bit little by little because that's what you have to do with breath work. You have to stop, find that awareness, then build into the other elements of breath and give it time for your body and mind to find familiarity and comfort with it. But now we're going to bring it all together into a little useful, efficient routine. So we started way back when with that breath awareness work, noticing if we have any holding patterns in the breath cycle and exploring the concept that that in-breath can and should happen for you as much as possible, rather than you feeling like you have to snatch the breath in. Then I introduced the idea of focusing on the out-breath more than the in-breath, just reframing that a little bit in terms of the breath cycle. And then we came on to the important element of releasing the abdominals on that in-breath to allow for the support mechanism to work freely when it needs to. And that's what we moved on to next, learning how we can feel and recognise that vocal support that everybody keeps banging on about. And then, of course, we connected that support to voice, or explored how we can bring voice on in a very kind of easy and primal way. And then we found ourselves with a fully supported, efficient vocal mechanism and never have any voice issues again. The end. Lols. Of course, it's not that easy. But if you build these steps into your routine via this little chunk we're going to put together today, you'll be going a long way to building a really coordinated phonatory system and making voicing a little bit more easy for yourself. True story. Seriously though, the point here is that in order for this lovely stage of the voice training process to embed and help you long term, you need to explore it regularly. Sadly, there's no quick fix to this really. So let's piece it all together into a short 5-minute routine to use either as part of a warm-up or as a little extra bonus voice workout routine. Remember episode 1, re-listen to that for the difference between warm-ups and workouts in terms of voice care. And also you could use this little 5-minute routine as a cool down, to be honest, as well. It's lovely for that. So we're going to get straight into the action, folks. No messing. I will, as is my habit, have a sneaky drinky. Sorry, I slipped over into toddler speak there for a moment. Okay. Give yourself a minute. You can find your comfy spot. I love a bit of lying down. You know that by now. If you don't want to lie down, you can stand. Just make sure you're aligned, and we'll run through that in a sec. Or you can stay seated if that's more reflective of how you're going to spend your day talking today. So if you're standing, let's just run an alignment scan. So feet under the hips, knees released, bum heavy, spine long, shoulders released and gently dripping down the back. If seated, perch on the edge of the surface, assuming it's a chair, feet flat, hip width apart, right angles then from the feet to the lower leg, to the upper leg, to the body, and that gentle little lean forwards with a nice long spine. Sigh of relief to get started. Then just let the in-breath follow and allow that breath cycle to establish. Just let it happen, drawing attention to that moment after the out-breath that you can hang in for a little bit before the body refills with breath again. And then just sigh the breath out. So we're allowing those moments. Breath drops in, sighs out. And then notice if you've got a tendency to want to really cling on to that out breath. So we want to avoid any control at this point. Just let it go. Breath drops in and sighs out. Remember to allow the belly to release when the breath refills, and notice that belly then drawing in or dropping down gently as the breath sighs out. So we're really encouraging that flexibility of the abdominal area and that letting go of the out breath and that letting in of the in breath. Let that breath cycle settle in. And remember, we're doing this with as much ease as possible. So the inhale should feel passive, like you don't need to do it for yourself, like it's being done for you by the body. And all you need to do is sigh the breath out and then release the belly as the breath drops in. So a few more of those, enjoying the ease and the awareness of the flexibility of the belly rising and falling, or drawing in and dropping forwards if you're upright. And then when you feel comfortable in that, just allow the lips to get puffy and that gentle to come into play on the out breath. And the breath rhythm stays the same, so there's no need to speed up or aim for that sound. You just happen to be closing the lips a little, so the breath gets caught behind there, and we get that little puffy bubble of sound. Remember, we're thinking about the connection between the belly dropping down or drawing in and the action at lip level, rather than any trying to make that w sound. The sound is really just a result of the lips creating that semi-occlusion, that partial closure, and then the air just gently comes back down onto the vocal folds as well, so we get that nice duality of air pressure and a little and once you've allowed that for a few moments, you may need a bit longer depending on where you are in your vocal development, so you can pause this for a bit if you want. But when you get to the stage where it feels very easy, very passive, like the sound is just happening kind of by accident, we've got that lovely moment of pause after the w, allowing time for the body to breathe back in. We're noticing the flexibility of the abdominal area and that really gentle, fluffy sound. Then you might just want to pop your hand on that support juncture area just inside the hip and notice what you can feel. Can you feel a little gentle engagement there? A little response under the fingers when your sound happens? Feel free to pop in a little giggle if you need a reminder of what you should be feeling down there. And explore how you can encourage that little response from the muscles under the fingers on your... The belly moves out on the in-breath, drops down, and we get that little gentle response under the fingers. If not, you might need to scoop that belly up and in a little bit just to remind your body about the action you need, just making sure you release again on the in-breath that follows. Scoop it up, belly comes in and then releases again on the in-breath. Or maybe you can feel a little engagement there already. And once you've explored that for a few moments, you can think about the other sounds that we popped in. So we had that puffy TH, and that puffy V as in vegetable. So we can get a little really puffy again. Remembering it's not about making the sound, it's about making the obstruction and letting the airflow through that. You can even try a little double bubble with the w, letting that sound feel really fluffy, which is a fab wee term I picked up from some Fitzmaurice voice work with the lovely Ryan O'Shea. So a little double bubble, fluffy sound. You might want to pause again now and just explore those for a moment. Cycling through those sounds. remembering the TH can assist with tongue release and the V can assist with jaw release. And you can explore those sounds for as long as your schedule allows, really. Just keep in mind that golden rule of ease. If it starts to feel like you're trying this in any way, then stop. Fab, so we'll stop it there for now, and I'll transition back out of my kind of meditative voice teacher voice and back into my normal narrator voice. Take a wee bit of time now, just opening your eyes, coming back into the space a little bit. Don't stand up too quickly. Take your time standing up if you've been lying down, and you can continue with your day. So there we go. A few minutes of that breath routine from those 5 whole weeks that you've committed to exploring the breath. Well done, by the way, for carving out time for that. And you can just pop that little 5 minutes into your daily voice prep. Like I said, really good for actually cooling the voice down or resetting the voice on a busy day in between meetings. And if you've got a bit longer than a few minutes, happy days, lucky you. Lie on the floor and indulge in this one for as long as you like. Remember, all this stuff is part of so much bigger breath and voice practice. So it's all influenced by Linklater voice work, by Fitzmaurice voice work, by accent method breathing. I'll put some links in the show notes to those, but I would encourage you to explore all this and seek out other avenues of exploring and developing this if you feel like it's chiming with you, because there are loads of incredible practitioners out there who can help you with this and give you even more specific and bespoke information in relation to your own voice. And actually, if you fancy spending an entire weekend exploring this kind of work with me, I'm taking the final few calls for the June Ultimate Voice Getaway Retreat. So you could join me in the countryside in the north of England, Hadrian's Wall country, for lovely days of relaxing, resetting, exploring voice work, hanging with like-minded people. There are hot tubs here, we have a bar. It's all very nice. Anyway, it's the Ultimate Voice Getaway Retreat, and I'm taking calls for another couple of days into this week. So if you fancy it in June, check out the link in the show notes and book in a wee chat with me, because I'd love to welcome you here. It's bloody lovely and it's perfect for breathing and sitting in a hot tub. But that's obviously optional. But that's it for now. I will see you next time for some more voice shenanigans. So over and out. Happy wooing. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to the Voice Coach podcast. To get the most out of your voice, come on over to our free community on Facebook, the Voice and Accent Hub. See you in there.